what a neat story, right? The founder of NVIDIA was really, I mean, what a story he has.
Yeah.
He was working at a Denny's when he came up with this idea. I love his story. Like, walk us through some of his background, because again, as we started this program, we were talking about NVIDIA, and I do think, to your point, you want to understand these companies. You want to understand who's running these companies.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, as I've been kind of digging into his background, and I would encourage people to even just, go to the NVIDIA's website. He gives a little speech, like right on the first homepage. And it's such a sort of a brilliant, humble guy. So he was Jensen Huang, born in southern Taiwan in, I think, something like 1961 or 1963. Grew up there till he was like 8 or 9. I guess his family moved briefly to Thailand, and then they sent him to Tacoma, Washington to live with an uncle. The uncle mistakenly sent him to a reform school in Kentucky. They thought it was a prestigious boarding school, but it was like a reform school for wayward kids. So he had a pretty difficult experience there, which he kind of relayed in different articles. As you
Bullied
might
a lot,
imagine.
right?
What's that?
Bullied a lot.
Yeah, he was picked on. Physically, you could imagine.
Kind of like the Elon Musk thing, and different way, shape, or form. But Elon had a lot of challenges as a kid too.
They tried to throw him off a footbridge that he needed to get to school. I mean, really, these were rough kids with switchblades and all that. But you know what? He said it built resilience, which I believe, at an early age. And he actually went back and donated like $2 million to the school for a new dormitory at some point years later. But anyway, then his parents finally made it over to Oregon. So he grew up and went to public high school outside Portland, Oregon, graduated at the age of 16, went to Oregon State, majored in electrical engineering. His lab partner was a girl named Lori, who I guess was a couple years early because older than him, since he was sort of like this Doogie Howser type kid, right? Who went to college early. I don't know. In the article, it said he eventually got the courage to ask her out. 6 months later, they got married a few years later. Anyway, come back a few decades later. They've donated $50 million to create this supercomputing research center. That's named after the two of them. It's a pretty nice kind of American tale. But he's a really
story.
Yeah, but he's a real. Unlike some of these other brash, Larry Ellison type Silicon Valley CEOs, this guy's down to earth, and
pretty neat.
His innovation is really,
the innovation is incredible. I mean, it really is. It's just amazing to see. And I was talking to someone recently who wrote a book, actually. It's sort of a science fiction book on AI, which is a little bit scary if you think about it, where it could go. But he's somebody who got his PhD from the University of Maryland in basically some kind of version of AI, right? Like whatever they had back in 1978 or 1979. And he's like, nobody cared about it back then. Like, it was like this mysterious, like nobody, you think about all the things that could happen, right? How do you anticipate that? Like, how do you, and often you don't, like sometimes you just kind of stumble across it, but we have some visionaries that are just obviously truly incredible. And that's what keeps pushing us forward. And I think AI right now, just the opportunities are going to keep coming there. And it's sort of wild and scary. I get it, but I tend not to be scared in these things. I tend to be a little bit of an optimist, and I'm hoping for the best because I think it might just increase productivity and jobs will change. And hopefully it's all for the better. We've got 76 report coming out momentarily. I just want to encourage everybody to go over to the website. I will include it here. I think it's in the show notes, but I will actually put it in the chat so that you guys can see this. It is 76research.com. We put it, oh, by the way, subscribe to the channel. This is a new venture, very wonky and specific because we talk stocks and investing and economic policy. So it's for my true wonk fans out there. Please make sure you subscribe and go look at 76research.com because I really feel like this is it's something I'm incredibly proud of, and I'm proud to to start this venture with you, Rob. So let's see if we can educate people more and help them over time really develop a foundation for themselves and their families. And the key to that really is just, I think, consistency in your investing. It's so critical.